active and energizing, even here in our own country. It is extraordinary. And these things kind of go on beneath the surface of the ground a little bit. It takes some time before they burst forth and they manifest themselves to the world. Radio Maria was a bit like that for 20 years. Mary will tell the story, whereas Mary probably outside for Mass today. And all the early members, that it was very much below the ground from about 1999 until 2015, when it finally began broadcasting. Such is the nature of the Holy Spirit. But we had a fabulous reading from St. Francis Xavier, one of his letters this morning in the Office of Readings, if you were listening earlier, how he was in India, and he'd been sent by St. Ignatius off to India, the Far East, to evangelize. And he said he was worn out from baptizing and bringing young people and new converts into the faith. And so much so that he didn't even have time to say his prayers or to catch up with the necessities of life. And he was at pains writing back to Europe to say, look, there are people here who are intelligent and welcoming the good news, and only for the want of missionaries. And he said how he would long to go into the universities, especially in Paris, he says, and kind of give them all a bit of a wake-up call to say, look, you have more learning than love, that you're all about your academic, pursuits, but how does that translate into preaching the gospel? And so, to bring them back, and the word he used actually that stays with me, he felt like he's bludgeoning them, like, would you come on, lads, get out here, there's work to be done. Incredible enthusiasm that St. Francis Xavier had. And so much so that he even travelled from India and went to Japan. Goa, of course, is where he's remembered most affectionately, and I think there's a relic of him there. They have a bone of his arm. He's very highly revered in Goa, in the west coast of India. But he also travelled, of course, to Japan and ended up not gaining access to China, but died, I think, just in the course of his exertions as a missioner. So God raises up people of this calibre and this order to really, filled with energy for the faith, most extraordinary, and a great blessing for the church, and a kind of a sign to us. People who are that level of zeal, kind of hard to keep up with at times too. So Paul's letters, St. Paul, his writings today really are for all of us, not just the St. Francis Xavier's, but we are called to be of the same rank and order, that we have a duty laid upon us to preach the gospel, to witness to Christ in the world, and that he says, I should be punished if I did not preach it, and such is the case. We've been given such an immense gift in our faith. Not to share this gift is an injustice to those who have yet to appreciate and relish the faith. So we've been given a great gift here at Radio Maria, and what an enormous blessing it is to so many, and the fruits of our labours are already evident too. We can be like St. Francis Xavier, would you come on, lads, and give us a hand and help us to kind of push it on. And so indeed many are doing so, and we're very grateful for the wonderful prayerful support we are receiving certainly here, continuing on the great mission of St. Paul and St. Francis Xavier, and indeed the ascension commandment of Christ given in today's gospel: go out to the whole world and proclaim the good news to all creation.